All right, this is the unboxing and assembly of the Body Solid GFI21 heavy duty adjustable bench. All right, here's how it showed up. Looks pretty good the way they packaged it, and came pretty solid. All right, here's it opened up. Looks pretty good. This is the way you can kind of remember to put it back together. None of this stuff has moved yet, so all this is the way you repackage it. And I've just taken that stuff right out onto the side. You can see that. And here's all the stuff. There's the seat pad right there. And then the back pad is underneath it. And then you got this other stuff here. So we took that out. Again on the side, there's the pad right there. And then there they are, both outside. You can see this is just some styrofoam residue or whatever. It came right off. Anyway, the stitching is pretty amazing and looks all pretty good and came pretty kept together, all that good stuff. So here we go. Another little bit of the stitching here. It looks really nice actually. So anyway, this assembly is more about working out your mind than your biceps, and so a lot of it is really important to get your pieces all organized from the start. Oh, also they gave you some touch-up paint, which is pretty cool. I did have some scratches on mine, but I don't care. So anyway, once you get these things sort of separated and arranged, like all the same things together, this will go super fast for you. So study this. C3, these are washers. All the C's are washers. And then as long as you get the A bolts all together and you see which nuts should be threaded onto these bolts, because only one nut per bolt, right? And so then you're good to go. And it's about that simple. So yeah, let's move on here. Let's start the easiest stuff. The easiest stuff is putting on these end caps into the base of the bench here. And as you see a little bit closer, it's got a little hook. You can kind of slide that on in there and just pop it in. We're done. Moving on. They're all installed. You can kind of see like right below the bar there on the right where it is. But anyway, you got to get the main bottom part of the bench into this base bar here, and in order to do that, you got to grab your A1 bolt and your little nuts along with that, and we're going to slide this over top of it. It's going to be a pain in the ass, and so whenever you slide this on, you got to do like one side at a time. There's my scratches. Oh man, it's okay though. Anyway, you slide on one side and then you rock it onto the other. It's going to be harder than what you think. You're going to think you're doing it all wrong. You're not. Hang in there. All right, and so once you slide that on, you get those bolts, slam them on in from the outside. This is the nut here is the interior of the bench. So you can kind of see, take a look. And there we go. More easy times. Let's slide these things in there. They got the little hooks or the little notches to just pop on in there. And it locks it in place. Beautiful. Okay, next part is let's take a look at these rails. Oh man, that's too hard. Let's do something easy. Okay, let's put another cap in. That sounds easier. Let's do that instead. So we put the cap in on this guy right up in there, right there to there. You know, easy. And here we go back to the thing that we've already done. My goodness, that's even easier is looking at the stuff we've already done. Now look at this. You see this guy? He's got to be unscrewed. If you don't unscrew this guy, he's never going to go in. So you can just keep on unscrewing it. And what you're doing is getting it to the point to where you can slide this thing on to where notice this little bar here that's on the upper part, and this is on the lower part. And you're going to be able to get this on. What you're probably going to do to make it easier is just unscrew the whole damn thing. It's out. And then you're going to try to slide this on. Then you're going to probably hit the little pieces of bowed plastic where it's kind of coming in. Right here on the side, maybe you have to push in on that as you're pushing this thing in to get it to actually slide on completely. But when you do, it's nice and easy, and it goes all the way down. Get down to the bottom or so. Notice I still have that thing unscrewed, so I can slide it down easily. I'm going to come back to it and put it in. There it is. All right, here are the seat pads. We've got the A4 bolt, the C3 nut, which is the little tiny one. It's a spring washer, and then there's the other one, the C2, right up there. There's a washer, and here we go. These are the pieces of the seat pad, and what you want to do is screw in one side at a time. Now those are those same bolts, those A4. I've just put it on with the smaller one in and then the larger one. And so I've got them all together, and you can see them all together just like that. And now I'm going to put them in. Now you're tempted to put in all four at the same time. Don't do it. Put in two on one side, or that side. And then you want to slide it over. See, I've slidden over. Slidden? Sliding? Anyway, I've put that over, and here it is. And so now you can come back and do the other side, because otherwise you would have never been able to get this thing on. And so now you flip that back, and you just start screwing that other side in. Done. All right, let's do the back side of the bench. All right, so you got these little holes, and they just slide on in. Remember, there's our old caps that we've already done. Excellent. Push that in. We got two areas here. Now, with all these, you're either using the 13 or the 19 millimeter. And so this is going to be one of those 19 millimeter things. Now, this part here is going to be on the bottom, and this is going to be on the top. On the top of this, and on the bottom right down there. That's what I mean by bottom and top, right? And so I line those all up with my 19. That's what this bolt looks like. It's got a little 4.8 and CS in there and gibberish. Great. Slide that on in there, and you just screw it on in. Now, don't look at this part yet, because you haven't done this. All right, forget about these bars, but that's where they're going to go. All right, so with that 19 millimeter, we grab our A2 bolts, our C1 washers, and then the little golden ones as well. All right, so we stick in on the side of that the long back brace of the bench. We go on from the outside and going towards the interior, which is to the right. Notice how I've already got the washer on here. This one stays off. It stays in the middle of all this. And so you see how it goes on. I've pushed it through, and this is that little, I don't know. You know what it looks like. It's that thing, all right? And then we just slide that over, and then we put on that, that nut there. And that's about as easy as that can be. Let's put on some wheels. All right, C4, the most explosive of the washers. Oh my God. All right, so we got the wheels here. We got the C4. We got the A7 bolts. All right, and then we just stick that washer on one side of it. You see these? You see how there's like the same washers? There's 4 of them, even though there's only 2 bolts. That's right. We put on one here. We're going to slide it through the wheels, and then we're going to put a washer on the other side as well, and then that bolt right there. And there you go. Make sure I guess it doesn't really matter whether you're screwing it in from which way or the other, but I don't know. They want you to put it with the bolt head to the outside, away from the center of the bench. Whatevs. You got to hold on to something to get this thing to screw in there. Remember, I'm using 13 millimeters and all this, and I just use a vice grip to hang on to that while I turn it. All right, now let's get the back pad all screwed in. Again, 13 millimeters down here. And there's not too many bolts left, so process of elimination a little bit. But you got the washer there, and you got the 2 washers actually. You got the 1 washer, right, and then you got the little tiny washer, so make sure you're using those. And so, in case you're wondering, it's the A3 bolt and the C3 washer, and then the C2 washer, which is that larger one. Anyway, and there it is. And there's the C3 and the C2, and there's the A3 bolt as well. Goes on in there, and that's starting to look pretty good. Then you got, I've screwed this back in completely, and I put this guy in here, which is the thing that holds up the seat when you're in the incline position. And man, you have done it. And that's what you get. You got a bench. Congratulations. You'll notice that whenever this thing elevates up, it does push. You've done it right. I don't know if the manufacturer did. It's still a pretty solid bench, and I've never seen it like kind of bunch up like that, but I think it's okay. In fact, you know what? I think it's fantastic. If you lower the bottom part of the bench, you can kind of see that it no longer touches. People hate that gap. Guess what? No gap, guys. No gap. Well, at least in the incline position, you still got a gap when it's down. Oh, my goodness. If you're interested about the dimensions and all that kind of stuff, stay tuned for the next video where I actually review this bench jump on it and try to tear it up best I can. All right, have a good one. Hope this helped out. If you liked it, make sure to say so. If you hated it, make sure to thumbs down and hurt my feelings real bad.